Miscellaneous e-receipt system is a system through which zonal railways can receive the miscellaneous payments digitally from the railway customers. The URL to access MERS portal is mers.indianrailways.gov.in. Click on Login for miscellaneous e-receipt system. For MERS miscellaneous bills, there are two types of user ID, Railway Customer and Railway Authority. The Railway Authority user IDs is created by CRIS on the request from Zonal Railways. The Zonal Railway can send the request on CRIS MERS helpdesk@cris.org.in, as well as they can send any issue related to MERS on this email ID. A sample bill is raised so that the user can know the flow of the bill. Select Railway Authority, enter the user ID, password and CAPTCHA. Click on Sanction Entry for customers. Here the details are of suppliers, that is railways. Select the section, state, GSTN number is automatically populated. Select station. Now the details of the customer has to be entered, whether the recipient is an individual or firm. Enter the phone number. If the customer is already registered on MERS portal, a window is popped up here so that you can see the details of the customer. If the customer is a first time customer, the details has to be entered. GSTN number, if available, you can enter. After entering, the GSTN number has to be verified. If it is correct, a tick will appear here. Address of the customer. Whether the customer's organization is an government entity or not. Select SAC code from the drop down provided. Select department which is raising the bills. Select receipt type. Enter the purpose of transaction. Select allocation code from the drop down provided. Enter invoice date. Enter the invoice ID which is unique. Verify whether the invoice ID is available or not. It is available. In invoice ID, only alphabets, number and forward slash is allowed. Enter the amount without GST. Now whether GST is applicable or not for this transaction. Select yes if it is applicable, else no. Whether it is reverse charge basis or not. If you click on yes, the GST amount will be shown, but the amount will be paid by the customer. Else, the amount will be collected from the customer and paid by railways. Select the GST percentage. Select the type of GST. The amount is automatically populated. The total amount is including GST, because the reverse charge basis is no. If it is yes, the total amount will be excluding GST. The GST is also shown separately. Choose files which has to be uploaded. Save the transaction. Now you can view the transaction in View Transactions. Select pending as because the transaction is not forwarded to the officer for approval. Select the date on which the bill was entered. The date range is the range when the bill was entered. The report can be downloaded in Excel, text or PDF. Next step, the transaction has to be forwarded to the officer for approval. Click on forward transactions. This is the transaction which was created now. Select the transaction, forward. This is the unique ID which is generated for the transaction. Now we shall log in the approver's ID. After the approver logs in, you can see the transaction which is pending for approval in this option, pending transactions. This is the transaction which was created just now. To see the details, you can click on the unique ID so that the details appear here. The approver can download the file if you want to view the file which was uploaded. Number of days for the customer to make the payment should be entered here. Select the transaction for approval or rejection. Select the transaction, click on approve. The transaction has been forwarded to the customer for registration and payment if he is a first time customer. In miscellaneous reports, the approved transactions can be viewed. This was the transaction which was approved today. Now we shall again go to the ID where the bill was raised. The authority can view the transaction which has been approved. Same way, rejected transactions can be viewed here. If any transaction which was wrongly entered and not approved, it can be deleted. Miscellaneous reports is available for the Railway Authority. They can see which all transaction has been approved, in which transaction the customer has made payment which was successful. Challan payments can be viewed here. Zone wise report, zone wise receipt type wise report, year wise, month wise amount collected, all can be viewed in these reports. After approval by the Railway Authority officer, a link is received in the customer's mobile as well as mail. Using the link, the customer will enter his details and the OTP which was provided. All the details which was entered by the Railway Authority of the customer is automatically populated here. The customer can enter his user ID, password, and generate his user ID. Now the customer can log in into MERS portal after selecting the railway customer option. The customer can click on for payment of approved transactions. He can select the payment transaction. If you want to see the details, he can click on details and see the details. Select the transaction for payment. Select online payment for net banking and make the payment. After payment, he can download the receipt of the payment using this option. The railway authority who has raised the bill and approved the bill, both of them can check whether the customer has made the payment. You can click on miscellaneous reports, select online payment transactions, select the date on which the bill was entered and whether the transaction was successful or not, it is visible here. These are the basic details on how to raise a bill and how the payment is made. If any issue related to this related to MERS bill raising or payment, it can be addressed on CRIS MERS helpdesk@CRIS.org.in. Thank you.